Hey Mr. Bledsoe, this is Noah Thompson from your first block class, and this is my Unit 1 video assignment. Alright, right here I have triangle ABC. I'm going to take triangle ABC and translate it 5 units left and 3 units down. So I'm going to go ahead and start with point A and go 5 units left. And right here I am 3 units down. That point becomes A prime. And A prime is -3, 0. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to point B. 5 units left, 3 down. That is B prime, and B prime is going to be -1, 4. There you go. Now point C. 5 units left, and 3 units down. That is C prime. That is 3, 3. Now I just have to connect up the points right here for triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. And after the translation, I have 2 congruent figures. Now I have to figure out the algebraic rule. So XY goes to, just from the English words up top, I can tell what the algebraic rule is. X, I can tell, is going down 5 because I see that it says left 5, and right and left is the x-axis as I have labeled. And what was I saying? I knew that because left means negative and right means positive. So now for the y, I know that up and down is the y-axis. So I just have to figure out if it's -3 or +3. And down means negative and up means positive, so 3 units down is negative. Or subtract. So now I have to just check the points to see if that algebraic rule works, just to make sure. So I'm going to go ahead with point A, and I have 2, 3, and -3, 0. And if I subtract 5 from 2, that does give me -3, because 2 subtract 3, subtract 5, equals -3. So that works. And then if I do 3 minus 3, that equals 0. So for point A it works. Now let's just check for point B to make sure both points work. Point B is 4, 7 and -1, 4. So if I take 4 and I subtract 5, that does give me -1, so it works for X. And now I have 4 and I'm subtracting 3. No, excuse me, I have 7. The pre-image is 7, not 4. And I subtract 3 and that gives me 4, because I got the 4 from the image, and I got the pre-image number from right there in the pre-image mixed up, so I just changed it and now it works out perfect. So for point B it works. Now let's just check point C real quick. Point C is 8, 6 and 3, 3. Now if I take 8 and subtract 5, that does give me 3. And now 6, I did the same thing again. Subtract 3 equals 3. So that works out. So the algebraic rule is x minus 5, y minus 3. Now I have to reflect triangle A prime, B prime, C prime over the x-axis. So I know that since I'm going to flip it over the x-axis, the x number is not going to change. Only thing that's going to change is the y, and the y coordinate is just going to become negative. So since a prime is already on the x-axis, that's not going to change, because it's on. If the x-axis is the mirror, it's on the mirror. That can't go anywhere. So now I'm just going to move straight to b and b prime, and I know that it's going to stay on -1, but the y is going to become negative, so it's just going to be -1, -4. And there's -1, -4. That is b prime prime. And that is -1, -4. Now c is going to be the same thing. It's going to be x is going to stay 3, but y is going to become -3. So 3, -3. C prime prime. 3, -3. Now let's just connect up points. Have them fairly straight. Well, fairly. And now I have 3 congruent figures. A translated one and a reflected one. All 3 are the same. Now I have to figure out the algebraic rule. So x, y becomes, and I basically used the algebraic rule to translate it, because I figured it out in my head to do the reflection. So I see that I'm flipping across the x-axis, so I know that that means the x is going to stay the same. And let me check. -1, -1, and 3, 3. They do stay the same, so I've already checked that. That works. And now I figured out that the y changes and it just flips over the x-axis, so it just became negative. So x -y. It's the algebraic rule. And let me check. That does work. I'm pretty sure, because that's how I used it, and it is right. So 3, -3, and 4, -4. So that is x -y is the algebraic rule from my reflection from a prime, b prime, triangle a prime, b prime, c prime, to triangle a prime prime, b prime prime, c prime prime. Thank you, Mr. Bledsoe, for watching my video. That is my Unit 1 video assignment.